Beyond the masters who came before us and seek to follow their examples.
The Grandmaster Instructor.
Senior Head Instructor. Bow to participants at home. Advanced Black Sash class dismissed. Good job, guys. All right, so some of you are tuning in for beginner Tai Chi. And I just want to let you know, Senior Head Instructor is an amazing instructor, and he's going to teach the class again. Oh, maybe with Mr. Higgins' help, don't know for today. But this is our last class. We do a rotating curriculum here. So for those that didn't know, normally there's a class, a bunch of people waiting to do the class, and a bunch of people leaving. And everyone who's brand new, a beginner, sometime in their first year, shows up to the class. And we do a rotating curriculum. So for like 6 to 8 weeks, we just work on the Tai Chi form. That's what you're going to do today. If this was your first class and you were coming here to try out, I would warn you, hey, this is a lot of information. Don't try to remember it, just kind of copy. Because next week, we're going to be doing the 10 foundational postures of Tai Chi. So it's like a perfect time to start getting involved. If you've sent me an email, I've sent you back a big list of me teaching each of the separate postures you'll learn next week, and then also a sample class that Senior Head Instructor did a long time ago, so the students could practice at home. I had made this for my students already. And but then moving forward, you'll have that with him. So in a few minutes, let him catch his breath. Senior Head Instructor Figg will come out and start your Tai Chi beginner class. Thanks for tuning in. Are you good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I just said you'll be up in a few minutes. Yeah, as soon as you got a drink and Dr. Brad Figg were just in my class.
Yeah. All right. So, as you just heard, we're about to begin beginner class. So, we are, I don't know how much you mentioned about where we are in the curriculum. We are on the last class of a fairly long, almost 2-month unit, so between 6 and 8 weeks per unit. So if this is your first time to see this or do this, it might seem like a lot. It's okay, just copy the feet. These moves take a while to get down. They take a little bit of repetition, and first it just starts with memorizing the feet. So, all right, we'll begin. But let's do, as always, some breathing and relaxation first. Separate the feet a comfortable distance apart. Place one hand over the other on the lower abdomen. It's just below the navel, and press in gently. Allow your eyes to close. And then once you close them, make sure they feel soft and closed, not tense and closed. So relax them, soften them, even with the lids down. Press in gently with the hands, not enough to even make the arms tense. Feel the shoulders and arms stay relaxed. And with the hands there, see if you can feel the abdomen move with your breath. Look for a little bit of an expansion when you inhale. Look for the lower abdomen to go back in when you exhale. You can have your lips lightly sealed and teeth gently meshed together, if you'd like to know what to do with your mouth. Breathing through the nose. Breathe in deeply. Breathe out slowly. And be relaxed. Allow yourself to be fully present with the breath and with the sensations in the body, even if it's the only time you do it all day. especially if it's the only time you do it all day. Relax the face, feel the jaw and the neck relax. Picture the image of the head lightly balanced on the neck. Continue the breath. Feel that sense of relaxation continue into the upper back and into the chest, the shoulders. Without dropping your arms, let the arms and hands relax. See how much tension you can let go and the arms stay there. Relax the lower back, the stomach, and continue through the waist and through the hips. Relax thighs and backs of the legs. Feel a softening in the knees, the backs of the knees. Allow your calves and ankles to relax. And with that same slow breath, pay a little extra attention to the relaxation of the feet. Relax in the heel, in the top of the foot. Feel the bottoms of the feet relax. Feel the toes relax. And release with your next exhale. Lower the hands. Allow your eyes to open. Okay. We'll do 3 or so minutes of our first foundational posture as a continued warm-up called Embracing Horse. Separate the feet shoulder width or a little wider apart. Pay attention to the alignment of the feet, the details of the angles of the feet. Let the outside edges of the feet be parallel. It'll feel like toes in a little bit. Bend your knees, sitting back. You could almost imagine if there was a chair behind you. Don't sit back all the way, but sit back. And then for balance, if I don't lean forward, I'll tip back. So lean forward in the upper body as you sit back. And with the alignment of the feet and with your knees, round it out, like imagine horseback riding, embracing horse. Tuck the pelvis under. So those are the first basic alignments of the lower body. And this alignment sort of carries over into the rest of the form work we do. It's a simple way to look at it, or a simple posture to work on it. We'll talk about this posture much more next week. It's the first of our 10 foundational postures. If today you go through all 10 and it seems like a lot, or sorry, if today you go through the form and it seems very complicated, it sort of is to memorize. The foundational postures next week will be much easier to remember. This is the first one. Continue holding for another 2 minutes or so, and I'll keep giving you different examples of it. So with the knees out, the toes in, the pelvis tucked I mentioned, that means rotating the pelvis just slightly in the direction you can picture a dog tucking its tail. And this might be the first time you've heard of the idea of tucking the pelvis. You might say, why? Well, the simple reason is to straighten out that arch in the low back. It also connects through the legs and the feet in a way that benefits Tai Chi movement. But the easy way to check is normally we walk around with an arch in our low back and an arch in the upper back. But the arch in the low back, when you tuck the pelvis under, becomes straighter. It may also have the effect of making a more intense feeling, even pain within the thighs or the outside edges of the thighs. And that's actually good pain, probably, for Tai Chi. Discomfort in the thighs is good. Pain in the knees is not. So Tai Chi practiced incorrectly can make your knees hurt, but done correctly, it shouldn't hurt your knees. So if you're trying this and you end up with some pain in the knees, contact us and we'll help you sort through the correct way. And I'm talking a lot, which is not a good model for this posture. So we'll hold it for another minute or so. Let the chin tuck slightly, let the shoulders and elbows relax. And then even soften your eyes so that your gaze falls between your hands to the floor, a little ways in front of you. Same deep breath and relax the body. Release, straighten the legs, lower the hands. Circle the arms up, breathe in. Push the palms down, breathe out. Okay. As I said, we are at the end of the unit, so it's mostly a review. Normally, if there were people in the room, the way the class would go is we would practice the whole section, and then based on questions or on what I observed people needed help with, we would focus in on a short enough bit that everyone could make some improvement on it. So if we don't have that feedback, we'll go through the form, the whole thing twice. If you're new to it, just copy the feet. And then I'll try to show, or I will show, some aspect of it more clearly for the camera, different angles, and more easier to learn sort of information. So let's think of it starting off as immersion. We'll just move together, copy the feet, pay attention to the directions as they point, how bent or straight each leg is, where my weight seems to be, right in the middle or on one foot or the other, just things like that. Oh, I'll say the names of these moves before we do them, so that it helps to memorize to have sort of names for things. Step left. Commencement. Ward off right. Ward off left. Ward off right. Pull back and press. Push. Single width. Lift hands. Strike with shoulder. White crane spreads wings. Brush knee push one. Playing guitar one. Brush knee push 2. Brush, knee push, 3. Brush, knee push, 4. Playing guitar, 2. Brush, knee push, 5. Hidden hand punch. That's hidden, H-I-D-D-E-N. Withdraw and push. Cross hands. And feet together. When you practice Tai Chi, relax shoulders and elbows wherever you can. Relax in general, wherever you can without the posture falling apart. Step, I think we'll talk about this more when we come back to this unit, but step with the step test. So when you're taking your step, imagine like testing the water, or technically where you can take your foot back without shifting your weight. So if I step out this far, then I have to push off and move my body weight to get back. If I only step this far, I can take it back in, and it's controlled. So even if you're stepping smaller than me, or, depending on your size, stepping bigger than me, practice the step test, relax where you can. Sort of general guidelines for Tai Chi movement. Let's do it one more time. And I'll say some of the names, but I'll also say some guidelines as we move through it. Trying to recall you all's form from a few weeks ago. When you start as relaxed, centered, neutral as you can in the moment. So feel the hands relax by the sides, relax the feet against the floor again. Feel the balance of your body, whatever that might be at the moment. Again, sink, step, sink. Commencement. Turn, pivot, let the foot and the body turn together. Shift the weight. Feel it go evenly, easily to the other foot. Sink down the step. Shift the weight. Turn the body. Turn a little more. Step. Step test. Double dragon split placement. Relax the weights. Press. And push. Single it. Lift hands. Strike the shoulder. White crane express wings. I was going a little continuously, so if you're used to stopping at the end of each move, which you should be in this class, sorry if that was disorienting. Brush and push 1. playing guitar 1. Second brush knee push, a lot like the first. Different starting position. Once you get going, it's the same move. Brush knee push 3. Turn away. Keep your turn while you step. Shift your weight. Keep your turn, then turn. Back to your front. The direction you're moving. Brush knee push 4, same thing. Shift and turn away. Step. Step test. Keep your turn. Shift your weight and let go of your turn. Return to your front. Second guitar, just like the first. Brush knee push 5, just like 2. And the punch. Go back, lean forward, turn with the body. The foot goes along. Step to the T. Shift the weight, turn the body, make the T. Turn the body, release the heel. Step. Shift and punch. So that went a little slower than the first time, I think. Other general Tai Chi things, don't hold your breath. Make sure you're breathing deeply. General relaxation. Pay attention to your weight. Really feel through your feet in a way you might not be used to. Maybe you've stopped paying attention in the way you walk, and that's normal. But when you're doing Tai Chi, you might have found out you kind of have to pay attention to the feet, and that's part of what starts the improvement of it. Okay, so earlier, in day class earlier, in the beginner class, we just reviewed those first few moves. I'm going to go to a more complicated move. So this, it's called single whip. When we come back around to this unit, after NACOM, you might, if this is your first time seeing it, you might remember this and appreciate it a bit. So. And well, by the way, this is, we're doing the YouTube live thing. I don't really have a feel for where the bounds of that are. I'm familiar with the Nest Cam pretty much so far, so we'll take a look at it, but if you have feedback, let us know about hearing us, seeing us, any other improvements or compliments if you got them. There have been some nice compliments. Thank you. Okay, so let's look at single whip, and then I think we'll go back and practice. Oh, we don't have too much time, so let's look at single whip in detail. I'll start off doing it in the direction as the rest of the form, and then I'll turn it around and let you see different sides of it. So, feet should be visible. I'm in what's called double dragon foot placement. And I'll get into it facing the camera first so you can see the shoulder width. I don't want to start on a line and then step into the posture because then I'm off balance in this angle, this side to side. I can go either way. So I'm going to start from my shoulder width. I'll turn the back toes out, and then I'll step the other foot forward without stepping in. Then I'll shift my weight forward, have the front knee bent, back leg pretty straight, not locked out, but feeling more straight in the front, like 60% of the weight in the front. So from the side, you saw it from the side a bunch in a lot of those moves. That's my starting position. I go shoulder width, left toes out, right foot steps forward, and then shift forward into the double dragon's foot placement. That's what this is called. Push position is where the arms go to begin, and notice it's not like I've already pushed. It's like I have some spring to give still. Or you can think of it as shoulders and elbows lowered, relaxed down. Which is another one of those general Tai Chi. I would put rules in quotes, but sort of guideline. Front leg bent, back leg straight. We'll start with just the feet. Shift, back. Turn to the left, turn the right toes into the front. that's a big turn in of the right toes. It'll feel awkward for a second, but when you do this move, you don't stay in this posture very long. You're moving through it. You're going to shift to the right, form a circle with the arms, right hand on top in a beat. And I'll show you more about that in a second, but it looks like this. Beat. Turn to the left, release the left heel, sink down, step in, and step back, heel toe. We're stepping back to, again, get the double dragon's foot placement at the end. We'll see that in a second. So shift to the left, lift the left hand, turn to the left. And the right toes will turn into about 45 degrees. At the end, you'll have the left palm out with the fingers just below the shoulder in the mirror that I can see. If you have a mirror at home, see it, or you can video it yourself. The right hand is in a beat just above my right shoulder, so it's facing me like this. Okay, do it a few more times. Shift back. Really just talking about the feet mostly. Turn to the left, turn the right toes in a lock. Shift to the right, form a circle with the arms. Turn to the left, release the left heel. Sink down and step in, step back, heel toe. Shift to the left, lift the left hand, turn to the left, and turn the right toes in. Okay, one more time together, and then we'll break it down from different angles. Shift back. Turn. Shift, form the circle. Turn to the left, release the left. Step back. Shift to the left, lift the left hand. Turn to the left and turn the right toes. Okay, so it's called single whip. More complicated than some of the earlier ones you'll learn. Probably the most complicated one in this first section. So let me flip it 180 so you can see what was blocked by my body. This is less instructional. I'm just going to do them. Reversed one more time. If you're watching live, this is time to practice along with, although it might be hard with it flipped like this. If you're watching later, you won't need it. You can rewind. Okay. Let's see. Are there any other angles you might want? I'll do it coming at you. So, facing away, and I'll come at you. Coming at you. Well, not directly yet. Close enough. Okay. All right. So, if you practice that and you come up with a question, feel free to send it to us, and we will answer it next class. So, okay. Well, we are about out of time for basic training. What we'll do is we'll go from the top one more time through that move, single whip, in sequence, and we'll bow out basic training after that. So. And with the names again, step left. Commencement. Ward off right. Ward off left. Ward off right. Pull back and press. single whip. Okay. Well, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Hope you got some relaxation or some exercise out of that, depending on what it felt like. Next week, we start the NACON, the 10 foundational postures. Much easier to memorize than the form, at least on a basic sort of practice level. Difficult to master, as the saying goes. But we'll start those next week, just like it was your first class ever. It's maybe for some of you it will be. So, all right. Now we have the basic training. We bow out with the 5 hearts, and that's the 5 attitudes towards our training and our school. So, and we'll make the fist with the right hand, cover it with the left, and we say we follow the 5 hearts: faith, respect, perseverance, patience, and humility. Basic training dismissed, and Black Sash training, we'll be back in just a minute. Get a drink, whatever you need.